Fender are very much at it again when it comes to what we think an acoustic guitar can be with the launch of their brand new Highway series acoustic guitars. Sitting very firmly right in the middle between classic acoustic fundamentals and reinventing the wheel of what we think an acoustic can do, the Highway series has some inspirations from Fender's Acoustasonic range, while very much still keeping this a strictly acoustic instrument. So the most obvious thing about the brand new Fender Highway series here is more than likely this body shape, available in both a dreadnought and a parlor. These guitars have actually only got a depth of about 2.25 inches, making them, you know, one of the kind of thinnest exclusively acoustic instruments that I've really ever played. What's going on underneath the hoods of these guitars as well is rather interesting, but I'll touch on that in just a second. The Highway series is available in two different wood choices. In my lap right now, I've got the all mahogany version that's got a solid mahogany top and a solid mahogany back and sides, but it also does come available in a Sitka spruce top as well, still solid top with a solid mahogany back and sides on that one also. The neck is also mahogany too, with actually an Indian rosewood board and also a rosewood bridge here. And one of the other interesting designs about this is this brand new bolt-on design that Fender have implemented here, making this, you know, probably quite easy to maintain if anybody's taking this out on the road or needs to, say, replace a neck. Next shape, we've got a kind of classic, comfy C shape, which if you've played any modern Fenders recently, it's going to be immediately familiar with you. And moving up, we've got the classic sort of Strat style headstock here with the 6-in-line tuners, very much making it Fender. The entire guitar and the neck are also a matte finish, so for anyone who's keen on that, it is an extremely comfy guitar to play for that. You know, no stickiness or anything, it's quite effortless to play. Again, it's very much in the same ballpark as the Acoustasonic line. Now, looking to the interior of the guitar, that's where things start to get a little bit more interesting. The interior of the guitar sports a brand new floating tapered X bracing, which Fender says that's what makes this guitar so acoustically vibrant. Although the kind of design of it may sort of, you know, scream that it's demanding to play live and plugged in. Funnily enough, this guitar actually does sound really, really good, even despite it being such a thin design. But on the topic of it being used for live use, the pickup that is installed in this guitar is what makes it, you know, quite special as well. Fender have very much aimed for this guitar to, you know, be used live and to sound absolutely superb. So that's why they have included the Fishman Fluence acoustic pickup, which is actually the first one I've seen in an acoustic guitar. Made really popular with obviously their electric guitars, the Fluence pickups have sort of revolutionized the way that people look at active pickups. And certainly from playing this guitar for a little while, it sounds absolutely superb acoustically as well. Checking out the controls here, this is what's obviously going to be used when you've got it plugged in. You have your master volume knob here, which has actually got these really nice wood designs on them too, which you should be able to see there. But you've got your traditional master volume, but what this second knob does here is it's actually an EQ shift, which will kind of take you between two quite different sounding EQs, which can, you know, sit in the middle as well. So there's loads of scope for you to get that perfect acoustic sound. Along with it actually being quite a cool looking addition to the guitar, I feel it's this quite cool little curved design here. And even while we've been playing in the room, Fender have said that this pickup is absolutely superb at preventing feedback. And we have tested that out a little bit, and yeah, you need to be kind of cranked at pretty extreme levels for this to actually start, you know, freaking out with the feedback. Before we dive just into the sounds, especially with the other guitars as well, I'll just give you a quick example of what this EQ control actually does. So we're running this through a Katana 50 watt on the acoustic channel, and that's just going to act as our DI for this. You'll hear in the sound examples, you'll hear some mixed in with a mic as well for this acoustically, but for right now, here is the acoustic with the knob turned, I guess, traditionally full. And then turning it down. And again, you can kind of mix that in the middle if you want to as well. Just it gives you lots and lots of scope, obviously, to get just the perfect sound that you need for your acoustic. So let's check out a few more sounds from these guitars. I'll be switching between the Dreadnought and the Parlor, and to show you kind of how the spruce top sounds as well. As I mentioned, we're running through a Katana 50 watt on the acoustic channel. That's going to be all the DI sounds you'll hear. And then we have got a Shure SM27 as well, just to kind of get a scope for how it sounds acoustically too. So as you heard with those examples there, not only does the Highway series sound absolutely superb plugged in due to the Fluence acoustic pickup in there, actually I'm very surprised myself on how this sounds acoustically too. It's like Fender have said how much this sounds superb acoustically, and for a guitar certainly that thin, you know, you can expect it to sound, you know, thin with no body, and just, you know, it's just a bit lacking on what you would expect from an acoustic guitar. But certainly for something this thin, I think it sounds absolutely superb acoustically. So whether you're using it on stage or whether you're using it just to, you know, lay it around the house, I think it's a really, really cool guitar. Certainly for somebody who doesn't want that huge sort of, you know, all-engulfing body, especially if you're slightly smaller, or if you just want something that isn't particularly difficult to play. I think one of the things that Fender implemented with their Acoustasonic series was kind of bridging that gap between the playability-wise electric and acoustic, and certainly the Highway series does that as well. I think even the fact that they're shipped with 11s gauge strings on them kind of show that they're meant to be a bit more player friendly, and you know, you can certainly play some leads on this if you do want to. So certainly for someone who's maybe intrigued by the Acoustasonic range but maybe doesn't need the electric sounds out of it, I think the Highway series is really kind of bridging that gap. And for anyone who just wants a nice sounding, you know, easy acoustic guitar to play, it's absolutely one for you to check out. But what do you think? Is the Highway series an answer to a question that you've been asking with your acoustic guitars? Let us know down in the comments, and of course, while you're there, give us a like and give us a subscribe if you've liked the content. It really does help the channel. But until then, I've been Keiran, and this is the brand new Fender Highway series acoustic guitars. Have a great day.